Namaskar. Today, in our series of Central Civil Service Conduct Rules 1964, we are going to discuss about sublet of government quarters, government accommodation allotted to a government servant, and also other financial dealings related to the government servant. Let us see what are the rules in the conduct rules. Subletting a vacation of government accommodation. See, normally government servants are issued government accommodation in the order of seniority. It is only for their use. They cannot rent it out separately or part of the item under. It amounts to subletting, which is against conduct rules. Normally, such wrong thing, if a government accommodation is found to be sublet, the estate office will cancel the allotment immediately and issue eviction notice also. And they will bar the particular employee for a particular period, some 3 years or so. They cannot apply for quarters again. Now, apart from that, they will send a report to the department for initiating departmental action. Departmental action can be for major penalty also. So that is the issue. So government servant should not sublet the accommodation issued to them. No government servant shall sublet, lease or otherwise allow occupation by any other person of government accommodation which has been allotted to him. It will lead to more problems. It should not be done. Second part. A government servant shall, after the cancellation of his allotment of government accommodation, vacate the same within the time limit prescribed by the allotting authority. Normally, once cancellation is done, immediately we have to vacate. Normally 1 or 2 months grace time will be there. Within that period, definitely we have to vacate. Beyond that, if somebody is staying in the government quarters, there is another issue. After 2 months or 4 months, as the case may be, whatever time limit they have given, beyond that, their license fee will be increased in a manner which will be exponential at one stage. And at one stage, within a year or so, it will go in such a every month, some 10% will be raised. And finally, at one stage, it will go to 40 times or 50 times of the license fee. Normally, it will be in Delhi, it will be more than 1 lakh rent, monthly rent. And Chennai, Mumbai also. Chennai, maybe 80,000, 90,000, something like that. Average, it is. I am trying to say the average thing. And it will be more than that also at one stage. So, that amount, the damage, rent and other things will be huge. One cannot handle, apart from eviction notice also. So once cancellation of allotment is ordered, government should vacate immediately. Investment, lending and borrowing. See, lending and borrowing investment is not per se against rule, but there is a limitation. You can't do a business of lending, or you can't do a business of speculative business, or you can't continue to borrow and become insolvent or something like that. So other than that, occasional lending or occasional borrowing and occasional investment also is permitted. No government servant shall speculate in any stock, share or other investment. So stockbroker come under, we cannot do. This is one thing. But occasional investment made through stockbrokers or other person duly authorized and licensed and who have obtained a certificate of registration under the relevant law doesn't come within this purview of the rule. So occasional investment is allowed, but you can't do, like there are people who will be spending time only on stock marketing for there are very speculative business in that. Government servants should not get into all those business. And Family of government servants should not be allowed to make investment which is likely to embarrass or influence him in the discharge of his duties. In the sense, suppose the family is investing as a promoter's quota or something like that. It's not for normal investment under through brokers as public. But when families are getting promoters quota of investment, stock investment, there is a hitch in that. Suppose if the particular company is going to have any kind of official dealing with the department where this government servant is working, there is naturally role conflict of interest. So it should not be allowed. And no lending or borrowing with persons with whom a government servant is likely to have official dealings. See, whenever the government servant has got any official dealing, all these things are prohibited. Reason is, it should not become like that. Okay, you give me a loan here so that I can clear this contract. I'll support you to get this contract. All these nonsense cannot happen. That is why lending and borrowing with any person who is likely to have any official dealing is not allowed. Insolvency and habitual indebtedness. So taking loan or paying loan is not a big deal. It is normal. But it is habitual indebtedness, habitual liability. He doesn't pay properly, and there are a lot of issues. Then it is violating of rule number 17. A government servant shall so manage his private affairs as to avoid habitual indebtedness or insolvency. So there should not be any complaint that this fellow has taken loan and he has not repaid it. If any notice comes or any legal proceedings are instituted against the government servant, of course he has to inform office immediately, giving all particulars, because such cases will make him liable for disciplinary action also. A government servant against whom any legal proceedings is instituted for the recovery of any debt due from him or for adjudging him as an insolvent shall forthwith report the full facts of the legal proceedings to the government. This is a negative thing for the government employee. One has to manage very carefully to ensure that he doesn't land into any trouble. Per se, taking loan or paying loan is not prohibited, but it should not be a kind of habitual problem. So with this, now we have completed subletting prohibition and habitual indebtedness, etc. That is becoming insolvent also. So we are now completing almost most of the conduct rules and property related things, and then child labor, etc. With that we'll be closing in the coming videos. Thank you.